Hi everyone, myself Dr. P. Ashok Babu, working as Professor and Head, EC Department. So in this video, I am going to discuss about the open circuited lines, short circuited lines and input impedance of a transmission line. So first we will discuss about the open circuited lines. What is the open circuited line? Then we will discuss what is the short circuited line. Then we will discuss the infinite line concept. In input impedance of open circuited and short circuited lines. So here a voltage difference can exist between the two wires, but no current can flow in open circuit. A voltage difference can exist between the two wires, but no current can flow in open circuit. So thus, at open end of a transmission line, there exists a minimum current. Open end of a transmission line, there exists a minimum current. Therefore, the impedance at the open end of the line will be infinite because V equal to IR and current is minimum. Therefore, R is equal to V by I. So if it is minimum, the R value increases. If I is minimum, R value increases. Therefore, the impedance at the open end will be infinite. Now, a quarter wavelength from the open end, the incident wave will be 90 degrees earlier and the reflected wave will be 90 degrees later than they are at the end. And thus, there is totally a 180 degrees out of phase between the input and outputs. So here is a lossless line, is a lossy transmission line. So there is a quarter wavelength line. So here if you observe the difference between the voltage and current, there is some phase difference between these two, voltage and current. So here the thick line is voltage and dotted line is a current. Then at this point, the voltage will be 0. The distance between the maximum and the minimum occurs at a point of voltage minimum. The distance between the maximum and minimum occurs at a point of voltage minimum only. So in high frequency lossless line, the values of the different maxima are equal. In high frequency lossless line. So lossless line means just like it is a ideal line, transmission line. For ideal transmission line, so the different maximum values are equal. However, in lossy transmission line, so the maximum value or minimum value may differ from one to other because of some attenuation. So this is a lossless transmission line, is a lossy transmission line. So here if you observe these voltage maximum and voltage minimum are almost equal for different values for different positions or for at different angles. Now we will define the short circuited lines. Across the short circuited end between the two transmission line wires, so there can be no voltage difference, but there will be a maximum current flow. So therefore, at short circuited termination, the voltage is 0 and impedance will be again 0 because we have R is equal to V by I. If V equal to 0, automatically R equal to 0. Therefore, for open circuited line, we have impedance equal to infinity. For short circuited line, we have impedance equal to almost 0. With short circuited load, the voltage on the line goes through a maxima at the distances from the load that are even multiples of quarter wavelength and through maxima at a distance that are odd multiples of quarter wave. So here I repeat once again. So with short circuited load, the voltage on the line goes through maxima at a distance from the load, that are even multiples of quarter wavelength, lambda by 2, 2 lambda by 2, 3 lambda by 2 like that. And length and through maxima at a distance that are odd multiples of quarter wavelength. And here the maxima are odd multiples of quarter wavelength. 3 lambda by 4, 5 lambda by 4, 3 lambda by 4, lambda by 4 and then 5 lambda by 4 like that. So here the minima is even multiples of lambda by 2 and maxima is an odd multiples of lambda by 4. So this is for again lossless line, it is for lossy line. Now we will find the input impedance of open and short circuited line. So it is a open line, it is a short circuited line. For open line, here the current I is equal to 0. For short circuit line, here the voltage is equal to 0 So the input impedance of a open circuit line is ZOC, and the input impedance of a short circuit line is ZSC. So here input impedance of open circuit line is the input impedance of open circuit line is the impedance measured at the input of a finite length of a line when its far end is open. It is denoted by ZOC. Similarly, we can define the ZSC, short circuit line. The input impedance of a short circuit line is the impedance measured at the input end of a finite length of line when its far end is short circuited. So it is denoted by ZSC. So here consider a length of line is L having the far end voltage and currents are VR and IR, where VR is the voltage at the receiving end, IR is the current at the receiving end respectively. And we know the transmission line equations. The two transmission line equations are V is equal to Vs cos HPX minus Is Z naught sin HPX. The first transmission line equation, and the second transmission line equation is current equation. I is equal to Is cos HPX minus Vs by Z naught into sin HPX. So here we need to substitute distance x equal to L and V is equal to VR and I equal to R in two transmission line equations. Therefore, the two transmission line equations are V equal to VR, VR equal to Vs cos HPL minus Is Z naught into sin HPL, and the current equation is IR is equal to Is cos HPL minus Vs by Z naught into sin HPL. So these two equations. Now, in open circuited line, IR equal to 0 at the receiving end, the current is equal to 0. Therefore, the equation 4 becomes, we need to substitute IR equal to 0. Therefore, we have Is cos HPL minus Vs by Z naught into sin HPL. So therefore, here we can write Is cos HPL is equal to Vs by Z naught into sin HPL. So here we can rearrange the equation as this Vs by Is. Vs by Is is equal to Vs by, or it is Z naught into Is cos HPL is equal to Vs sin HPL. Therefore, Vs by Is is equal to Z naught into, it is cos HPL by sin HPL, and Vs by Is is equal to Z naught into cot HPL. But Vs by Is is nothing but the ZOC. Vs by Is is nothing but ZOC, as open circuit impedance. So therefore, ZOC is equal to Z naught cot HPL. Similarly, for short circuit line, we need to substitute VR equal to 0. So therefore, substitute VR equal to 0 in equation 3. So here, if you substitute VR equal to 0 in equation 3, so it is Vs cos HPL minus Is Z naught sin HPL is equal to 0. Therefore, here we can write Vs cos HPL is equal to Is Z naught into sin HPL. Therefore, Vs by Is is equal to, here it is Z naught into sin HPL by cos HPL. Therefore, it is Vs by Is is nothing but ZSC. ZSC is equal to Z naught tan HPL. So the equation is ZSC is equal to Z naught tan HPL. So for an infinite length of line, L is equal to infinity, as a result of which tan HPL and cot HPL, both will become 1. Therefore, ZSC is equal to ZOC is equal to Z naught and ZSC equal to Z naught. Therefore, the input impedance of an infinite line is its characteristic impedance. So when the length of the line is infinite, or for an infinite line, ZOC is equal to Z naught and ZSC equal to Z naught. Both short circuited and open circuited impedances equal to characteristic impedance. Now, we'll find the input impedance of a transmission line. The input impedance of a transmission line is defined as the impedance measured across the input terminals of a transmission lines, and it is denoted by Zin. Zin is the input impedance, where Zin is equal to Vs by Is. So at the sending end of a transmission line, we can assume that distance x equal to 0 and V equal to Vs, I equal to Is. Vs is nothing but the sending end voltage, Is is nothing but the sending end current. Substitute these values in equations 1 and 2. 1 and 2 is the transmission line equations. We have V is equal to VR cos H into cos HP into L minus X plus IR sin HP into L minus X is the voltage equation. And current equation is I equal to VR by Z naught into sin HP into L minus X plus IR cos HP into L minus X. So here we need to substitute X equal to 0, X equal to 0, V equal to VR, V equal to Vs, and I equal to Is. Therefore, Vs equal to VR cos HPL plus IR sin HPL. Is is equal to VR by Z naught into sin HPL plus IR cos HPL. So there are the two transmission line equations. Now divide the equation 3 with equation 4. If we divide the two transmission line equations, then we have it is Zn is equal to Vs by Is, which is equal to. So here in numerator we need to take the LCM. So here if we take the LCM, it is VR cos HPL plus IR sin HPL by, if you take LCM, it is VR into sin HPL plus Z naught into IR cos HPL by Z naught. Therefore, we can write it is Z naught into VR cos HPL plus IR sin HPL by VR sin HPL plus Z naught IR cos HPL. So here if we take common of IR from the both numerator and denominator, so VR by IR into cos HPL plus, so here we have Z naught is there, VR by IR cos HPL plus in place VR by IR, so here we have sin Z naught sin PHL plus, so here if you take common of VR by IR in this equation, so sin HPL plus Z naught cos HPL. But we know that ZR equal to VR by IR. We know that ZR equal to VR by IR, or multiply the numerator and denominator by 1 by R. Here I am multiplying the numerator and denominator by 1 by R. If I multiply the numerator and denominator by 1 by R, VR by IR here. So here IR are cancel each other. IR cancel each other. Therefore, so here the equation will be Zn is equal to Z naught into ZR cos HPL, Z naught into ZR cos HPL plus Z naught sin HPL plus Z naught sin HPL by Z naught cos HPL plus ZR sin HPL, ZR sin HPL, Z naught cos HPL plus ZR sin HPL. Next, so this can be further simplified. By dividing the numerator and denominator by a cos HPL. So here if you divide the numerator and denominator by cos HPL, so here Z naught into ZR plus Z naught into sin HPL by cos HPL is nothing but tan HPL. So here also Z naught plus ZR into sin HPL by cos HPL is again tan HPL. So the equation becomes Zn is equal to Z naught into ZR plus Z naught tan HPL by Z naught plus ZR into tan HPL. So in open circuited line, let us assume in open circuited line Zn equal to ZOC and ZR equal to infinity. In open circuited line, Zn equal to ZOC and ZR equal to infinity. And substitute these two in equation 4. So it is Zn equal to ZOC into Z naught into, so here to substitute ZR equal to infinity. So here I am taking ZR common in both numerator and denominator. So here if you take ZR common in both numerator and denominator and cancel the ZR term. So here we have 1 plus Z naught by ZR into tan HPL by Z naught by ZR plus tan HPL, which is equal to Z naught into, so here if you substitute Z naught by ZR, 1 by infinity is 0, for 1 plus 0, plus here also 1 by infinity is 0, 0 plus tan HPL. Therefore, ZOC is equal to Z naught into cot HPL. ZOC is equal to Z naught into cot HPL. Similarly, so we can substitute the open circuited line for short circuit line, not open circuited, for short circuit line. This is for short circuit line. For short circuited line, we can substitute Zn equal to ZSC and ZR equal to 0. Therefore, the equation becomes Zn equal to ZSC. So here ZSC, Z naught into, so here in place of ZR we need to substitute 0. Therefore 0 plus Z naught tan HPL by Z0 plus 0. So Z0 cancel each other. Therefore, ZSC equal to we have Z0 tan HPL. So these are the two input impedances of a transmission line: short circuited impedance and open circuited impedance. So here we can find out the impedances of a transmission line in terms of exponential form. To find the input impedances in terms of exponential form, here we need to substitute cos HPL is equal to e power PL plus e power minus PL by 2, and sin HPL equal to e power PL minus e power minus PL by 2 in the transmission line equation. So this is a transmission line equation. We have Zn equal to Z0 into ZR cos HPL plus Z0 into sin HPL by ZR sin HPL plus Z0 cos HPL. So here if you substitute these two in equation, in place of cos HPL, here I am substituting e power PL plus e power minus PL by 2 plus Z0 into e power PL minus e power minus PL by 2 by Z0 into e power PL plus e power minus PL by 2 plus ZR into e power PL minus e power minus PL by 2. So here if you take the common terms, here we have the equation Zn equal to Z0 into, if you take e power PL common in the numerator, ZR plus Z0 into e power PL minus, if you take e power minus PL, Z0 minus ZR into e power minus PL. Similarly, in the denominator also, ZR plus Z0 into e power PL plus Z0 minus ZR into e power minus PL. So here we can take a common of Z0 minus ZR in both numerator and denominator. So here if you take Z0 minus ZR in both numerator and denominator, if you can take ZR plus Z0 in both numerator and denominator, then we have Zn equal to Z0 into, here it is 1 minus Z0 minus ZR by ZR plus Z0 into e power minus 2PL. Already minus e power minus PL is there. E power minus PL by e power PL. E power minus PL by e power PL. So which is e power minus 2PL. It becomes e power minus 2PL by 1 plus Z0 minus ZR by ZR plus Z0 into e power minus 2PL. So this is the input impedance of a transmission line in exponential form. Next, input impedance of a lossless line. Input impedance of a lossless line. So here we know that the input impedance of a transmission line is Zn equal to Z0 into ZR plus Z0 tan HPL by Z0 plus ZR into tan HPL. For a lossless transmission line, so here we have propagation constant P is equal to alpha plus J beta. For lossless transmission line, we need to substitute alpha equal to 0. Therefore, the propagation constant P becomes J beta. P becomes J beta. Therefore, if you substitute P is equal to J beta in transmission line equation, we have Zn equal to Z0 into ZR plus Z0 tan H J beta L by Z0 plus ZR into tan H J beta L. But we know that tan H J beta L equal to J tan beta L. J tan beta L. Therefore, the equation becomes Zn is equal to Z0 into ZR plus, in place of Z0 tan H J beta L, here I am writing J Z0 tan beta L by Z0 plus J ZR tan beta L. Since we know that beta is equal to 2 pi by lambda, we need to substitute in place of beta. So here I am substituting 2 pi by lambda. Therefore, Zn equal to Z0 into ZR plus J Z0 tan 2 pi L by lambda by Z0 plus J ZR into tan 2 pi L by lambda. So for lossless line, the resistive component of the line R and G both are equal to 0. Therefore, we can substitute P is equal to alpha plus J beta. We know that alpha P is the propagation constant, which is equal to root of R plus J omega L into G plus J omega C. If you substitute R equal to 0 and G equal to 0, we have J beta is equal to root of J omega L into J omega C. R, it is J omega into root LC. Therefore, beta, in place of J beta, we can write J omega into root LC, or omega is equal to 2 pi f. Therefore, in place of J beta, we can write J 2 pi f root LC. Therefore, the equation becomes, so here F is the frequency of operation of a transmission line of a transmitting impedance, and let us assume the impedance is pure resistive one. Impedance is the pure resistive one. Therefore, here we have Zn equal to Z0 into ZR cos HPL plus Z0 sin HPL by ZR sin HPL plus Z0 cos HPL. I am converting the impedance to resistance. So in terms of resistance, it is Zn equal to Z0 into, in place of ZR, here I am writing RR only, purely resistive part, plus, and here sin HPL is here. So here sin HPL means it is, so here I am dividing the equation with cos HPL. So if we divide the equation with cos HPL, so here it becomes Z0 tan HPL Z naught tan HPL, but P is nothing but J beta. Therefore, it is Z naught tan J beta L. Z naught tan J beta L. But tan J beta L equal to J tan beta L. J tan beta L. Therefore, J Z naught into tan beta L, where beta is nothing but 2 pi of root LC. 2 pi of root LC into already L is there. Therefore, the equation becomes Zn equal to Z naught into RR plus JZ naught into tan 2 pi f into root LC into L by Z naught plus JRR into tan 2 pi f into root LC into L. So, this is the input impedance of a transmission line. Okay, thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.